Hi, I'm Andy Cowell. I'm in Mexico for the lovely people at Black Cat who do a graded readers series for all ages and levels, and I'm here at the British Council Best of British ELT conference, which I think celebrates 75 years of the British Council in Mexico, and it's a lovely day. I have to say, I've come from the UK and it's been pretty cold there, so it's good to get some sun. And at the conference today we're talking about well, really what's wrong with reading in the classrooms. We are generally using reading texts of any length, usually short lengths, to make the students see the language and test them at the end, but that's not really how we read, is it? We tend to know that reading is for pleasure and information maybe, but we don't really do with our students what we do ourselves. And I talk about how normally we read for pleasure, and if we don't like a book we give it up, get another one. We don't give up reading, but we know that we have a choice out there, and at the end of the book you don't download a worksheet and start testing. So why for generations has reading in the classroom always been like that? I've never really understood it. It seems that there might be no time to do anything but grammar and vocab, but we know that doesn't really work in the end, because students say they don't like reading and they just think that language like English is just a subject, not a skill. And it's a skill that we're teaching. It's reading is a skill too. We're talking about life skills as well today and generally, which is how when we read more easily and topics we choose, that we can learn about how other people are, you know, how other cultures work, how the characters cause conflict and cope with conflict, all these day-to-day things that we need to learn and teach our kids, and there's no place in the timetable for it. So why don't we let books do that? And if we only use books in a very limited way to test their language, they're not going to get that, and they're not going to like reading either. So I'm going to be doing some more work here on the conference and meeting schools here and generally around different countries for Black Cat, to remind ourselves to give students through their whole formative life at school the sort of experience of reading that we have in the real world, which is enjoyment, reading for pleasure, giving up if we don't like it. There's nothing wrong with it. Why don't we give an extensive reading program for students where by extensive reading they read more often, but only books that they don't have to do what you tell them, and then at the end only do tests? Why don't they just have a little library with you where they choose books, put them back, and if they don't like them or can't understand them, we're not going to drag them through the whole year so that they hate it. And who knows, at the end of that process, over 1, 2, 3, 10 years of secondary and primary, they will come away with good, competent fluency in reading skills, world knowledge, some life skills about how they could behave in the real world today, 21st century skills, and of course know that English is a skill and one that can be used all over the world with everybody.